Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother I'm Noah Allah from GMS Chicago, and this is going to be a lesson about Isaiah 10. And when using some of these precepts of Isaiah 10 on the line, we do use precepts such as Isaiah 10 and 1 to to apply today, as Esau be the one that decrees unrighteous decrees. But ultimately, what Isaiah 10 is really talking about is the Assyrian rulership of the reign of Sennacherib. All right, but anyways, nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and break this down. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievous which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And what will you do in the day of visitation and in desolation, which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? And where will ye leave your glory? Without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all his anger is not turned away, but his hand stretched out still. And basically, Isaiah 10th chapter is really talking about Sennacherib coming to oppress Hezekiah and the rest of Israel. All right. Verse 5: O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, against the people of my wrath. Will I give him charge to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets? How about he meaneth not so, neither doeth his heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy him, to cut off nations, not a few. And the Lord uses Assyria as a tool. All right, the Lord uses Assyria as a tool to punish Israel. And of course, these Assyrians and Sennacherib himself, they don't know that the Lord is really in control. They don't know that the Lord is really the one orchestrating their every movement that they make. And ultimately, the Lord does destroy Sennacherib and his hosts. Verse 8: For he saith, Are not my princes altogether kings? Is not Calno as Carchemish? Is not Hamath as Arpad? Is not Samaria as Damascus? And here you go, as the Assyrians are boasting, as they're talking about the land that they conquered. Verse 10: As my hand hath found the kingdoms of the idols, and whose graven images did excel them of Jerusalem and Samaria, shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols? Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. The Lord uses Assyria to accomplish his purpose on Mount Zion. All right, Literally tells you right there in the NLT. But soon the Lord does turn against the king of Assyria and the rest of his hosts. And the king of Assyria is talking about Sennacherib. And you can read that in 2 Kings, the 18th and 19th chapter, and Isaiah, the 37th chapter, and 2 Chronicles, the 32nd chapter. All those books, all those chapters right there is literally talking about the same story, but a clear understanding, showing you that Isaiah chapter 10 is talking about Sennacherib and the Assyrians. All right. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed this whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. For he saith, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed the treasurers. I have put down the inhabitants like a violent men. And here you go, Sennacherib boasting even more. Verse 14, and my hand hath found the nest of the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as a staff should lift up itself, as if it were no wood? And that basically shows you that the Lord is really the one in control. All right, here you have Sennacherib and the Assyrians boasting that, boasting all this, that they have spoiled all these other nations, and here they are. Here they're about to defy against the Lord, Sennacherib especially. Verse 16, therefore shall the Lord of hosts send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. And you read in the NLT, it says in verse 16, therefore the Lord of heaven's armies will send plague among the Assyrians' proud troops, and a flaming fire will consume its glory. And the Lord, because of the Assyrians, because of King Sennacherib and the Assyrians' pride, the Lord sent angels and burnt their army up. The Lord killed, the Lord slayed their asses. And just real quick, I'm just go ahead and bring out 2 Chronicles real quick, because you have Sennacherib boasting, thinking that he can go ahead and defy the Lord and conquer over Hezekiah and the rest of the Israelites. All right, but no, the Lord overthrown Sennacherib's ass. All right. 2 Chronicles 32, verse 20. And it goes into Hezekiah's prayer and his answer. All right. And for this cause Hezekiah the king and the prophet Isaiah the son of Amos prayed and cried to heaven, and the Lord sent an angel which cut off them all the mighty men of valor, and the leaders and the captains in the camp of the king of Assyria. So he returned with shame of face to his own land. And when he was come into the house of his power, that they came forth, and his own bows slew him therewith. Thus said the Lord, save Hezekiah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem from the hand of Sennacherib the king of Assyria, and from the hand of all other, and guided them on every side. And many brought gifts unto the Lord to Jerusalem and presents to Hezekiah the king of Judah, so that he was magnified in the sight of all nations from henceforth. Well, yeah, here it shows you that Sennacherib was boasting. All right, and the rest of Second Chronicles, the 32nd chapter. But you can go ahead and read that for yourselves. All those precepts that I quoted: Isaiah 10, Isaiah 37, 2 Kings 18 and 19, 2 Chronicles 32. It's all talking about the same story. All right. Anyways, let's continue in Isaiah 10. And verse 18. And shall consume the glory of his forest in the fruitful field. Oh, Salakia, actually, I'm going to go back up to here in verse 16. But anyways, it says, Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. And that is speaking about the Lord and his angels. I'll go ahead and bring that out on Isaiah 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And yeah, that goes to prove to you that in Isaiah, what we're just reading in Isaiah 10 right now, it's literally talking about the Lord sending his angels. The Lord sending his chariots, which his angels are in the chariots, and technically they burnt the hell out of those Assyrians, all right, that were coming after Israel. Verse 17, and the light of the fire. And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame, and it shall burn and devour his thorns and his burrows in one day. And just like what we just read in Isaiah 66 chapter, verse 15 and 16. It's talking about the Lord and his chariots. Verse 18, and shall consume the glory of his forest and his fruitful field, both soul and body, and they shall be as when a stand barrier fainteth, and the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few, that a child may write them. In NLT, it tells you the Lord will consume Assyria's glory like a fire consumes a forest and a fruitful land, and will waste away like sick people in a plague. Verse 20, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote him, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. For the Lord, power of hosts, shall make a consumption even determined in the midst of all the land. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, the power of the hosts of my people that dwelleth in Zion, be not afraid of the Assyrian. He shall smite thee with a rod, and shall lift up his staff against thee after the manner of Egypt. For yet a very little while, and the indignation shall cease, and my anger and the destruction. And the Lord of hosts shall stir up a scourge for him, according to the slaughter of Midian at the rock of Oreb. And as his rod was upon the sea, so shall he lift it up after the manner of Egypt. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. He is come to Aiath. He is passed to Migron. At Michmash he is laid up in his carriages. They are gone over the passage. They have taken up their lodging at Gibeah. Ramah is afraid. Gibeah of Saul is fled. Lift up thy voice, O daughter of Galim, cause it to be heard unto Laish. O poor Anath, Madmenah is removed. The inhabitants of Gibeon gather themselves to flee. As yet shall he remain at Nob. That day he shall shake his hand against the mount of the daughter of Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. Behold, the Lord of hosts, shall lope the bow with terror, and ones of stature shall be hewn down, and the haughty shall be humbled. And he shall cut down the thickest of the forest with iron, and Lebanon shall be a mighty one. And NLT tells you in verse 33, but look, the Lord of heaven's army will chop down the mighty tree of Assyria with a great power. He will cut down the proud, that lofty tree will be brought down. And when you go ahead, when you read in Isaiah 37, there's Isaiah chapter 10, it's talking about Sennacherib in Assyria. Alright? It shows you a better understanding when you read either of Isaiah 37, 2 Kings 18 and 19, 2 Chronicles and 32. But anyways, here is Isaiah 37. And it came to pass when Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth, and went into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household of Shebna, the scribe, the elders of the priests, covered with sackcloth, unto Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. And they said unto him, thus saith Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble, and of rebuke, and of blasphemy, for the children are come to the birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. It may be the Lord thy power will hear the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria his master has sent to reproach the living power, and will reprove the words which the Lord thy power hath heard. Wherefore lift up thy prayer for the remnant that is left. So the servants of the king Hezekiah came to Isaiah. The Sennacherib sent his his Assyrian chief, and sent a message to Hezekiah to basically defy the Lord. But the Lord destroyed Sennacherib and the Assyrians, alright, by the angels. The angels were sent, and they burnt the shit out of Sennacherib and the Assyrians. Verse 6, and Isaiah said unto them, thus shall ye say unto your master, thus saith the Lord, be not afraid of the words that thou hast heard, with the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish, and he heard it say concerning Tarhakeh, king of Ethiopia, he is come forth to make war with thee. And when he heard it, he sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, thus shall ye speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy power, in whom thou trustest, deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria had done to all the lands by destroying them utterly, and shall thou be delivered? And this goes, ahead where the king of Sennacherib is about to defy the Lord. But anyways, let's keep reading. Have the gods of the nations delivered them which my fathers had destroyed, as Gozan and Haran and Rezeph, and the children of Eden which were in Telassar? Where is the king of Hamath, and the king of Arpad, and the king of the city of Seraphim, Hena and Ayavah? Well, nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and jump down and get straight to the point. I'm not trying to make this lesson too long. Anyways, verse 17. Incline thy ear, O Lord, and hear. Open thy eyes, O Lord, and see, and hear all the words of Sennacherib, which he hath sent to reproach the living power. So, yeah, the Lord, I don't slack it. So, yeah, Sennacherib is defying the Lord. All right. Of a truth, the Lord, the kings of Assyria, have laid waste all the nations and their countries, and have cast their gods into the fire. For they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now, therefore, O Lord, our power, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Lord, even thou only. Then Isaiah, the son of Amos, yeah, we can go ahead and jump down again. Not trying to make this too long. Actually, nah, let's keep reading. Verse 21, and Isaiah the son of Amos sent unto Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, this is the word which the Lord hath spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee, and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee, whom thou hast reproached and blasphemed, and against whom thou hast exalted thy voice, and lifted up thine eyes on high, even against the Holy One of Israel. By the servants hast thou reproached the Lord, and hast said, By the multitude of my chariots I am come up to the height of the mountains, to the sides of Lebanon, and I will cut down the tall cedars thereof, and the choice of fir trees thereof, and I will enter into the height of his border, and the forest of his camel. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and jump down. Not trying to make this too long, like again. But you can read the rest of Isaiah the 37th chapter, and also the other chapters that I quoted earlier, and it just tells the same story. Well, yeah, I'm going to get straight to the point. So basically, Sennacherib defies the Lord, and and Sennacherib comes down with his host to go down after Hezekiah and Israel. All right, but the Lord, he overthrows Sennacherib and his hosts. All right, by burning them with fire. But anyways, here's Isaiah chapter 37, verse 36. And the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 180 and 5,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead. Dead corpse. And yeah, well, just like we read earlier, Isaiah 66 and 15. The Lord overthrown them by the Lord sending his angels and burning the rest of the Assyrians with fire. Verse 37, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch. His power that Adramelech and Sharezer the sons smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon his son ran in his stead. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. Verse 10 real quick. I think I select it. Didn't think I'd bring this out yet. I think I did. Okay, cool. But anyways, in Isaiah 36 chapter, the 13th verse all the way down to the 20th verse, basically it shows you that that Sennacherib defies the Lord, and Hezekiah prays unto the Lord to deliver him out of the hand of Sennacherib, and that's what the Lord did because Sennacherib was prideful. He was proud. He defied the Lord basically. He disrespected the Lord. But anyways, that was just it to that lesson. I was just not trying to make this too long. But anyways, that's what Isaiah, the 10th chapter, is really talking about. And yeah, we do use some of the precepts in Isaiah 10 to apply it even unto today, as to use it for Esau, because Esau decrees unrighteous decrees, but also really Isaiah 10 is really talking about Sennacherib's reign and the Assyrians. All right, the Assyrian the Assyrian Empire at that time. But anyways, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua, and Shalom.